Hi everybody, I'm Ron Williams. I wrote these two books, Rise and Shine Anxiety, Depression, Life Management Tools, and Rise and Shine Parent Self-Help Guide for the Young Ones. Two very strong books, and they're really written to address mental health truth 100%. Okay. I go about, I'm out there, when I'm hiking or where I go to the stores or whatever. I bring my cars typically, and this is the card that you'll see on my Twitter site, and at RonnieLG123. They're littered in every tweet I have, pretty much. That's the only reason why I go to Twitter, is to reach out to help somebody. And this book, acknowledging that this is as strong as you're going to get as a human being. Dealing with our negativity and stresses as best we can as a human being, the natural way and the permanent way, none of the medication way, none of the quick fix stuff. Because that does not work. It really does not. I've gone through way too much not to know this. I went through 25 years of worst case anxiety, depression, OCD, deep depression, 4 times in the psych wards, met all the professionals, tried to end my life. I was a complete mess. I couldn't get any worse as a human being. Now I can't get any stronger as a human being. And it's a testament to how this process works. And it's meant for pretty much everybody if we're willing to try and work on ourselves. And to be honest with you, that's the number one reason why we're hurting more now than ever before, or as a major contributing factor, the fact that we don't like to work on ourselves. Just like I was for 46 years of my life, I kept on doing the same thing, expecting things were going to change. That's how we are often. And yeah, insanity? Yeah, that's a good term for it. That was me, 100%. I'm guilty of sin. Okay, it's so important to have a desire to do that, because in this world, we grow up and everything, and sometimes we're just limping from problem to problem, and not knowing what to turn to if we want to get some guidance on stuff, because there's so much convoluted stuff on mental health. Nobody knows what to believe. That's what I saw. Even though I didn't look at it at that point in time, but since I wrote my book, I thought, just see what's out there. It's not good. I'm sorry, I don't think it's that good. There are some good books that point out really good things about mental health. But what I say to people, when I talk about this book, if they're interested, I say, if you're working with or reading another mental health book, put that down, because if it's a good one, then that would just be a subset of what you learn from this process. It's a total process. It's a tremendous process. Now, for my son, he was bipolar type 2, medication for life, they said. Okay, so it's meant for pretty much most mental health conditions. And if you know the negativity versus positivity game, it kind of explains everything, because every negative thought we have impacts our brain and body chemistry in a bad way, causes our bad feelings, causes our bad emotions, causes our issues 100%. If we know how to change it up to positivity, that normalizes everything over time without the meds. And that's what we want to do, don't we? Have you ever gone down in the medication trial in your life? That stuff sucks. I never did like any of that. It didn't help me, except for, I do understand one part about that. If we get really, really down and out, and we're just struggling with depression, significant depression, and we have a plan to hurt ourselves. Yeah, we need a pick-me-up to get out of that mode of thought and stuff like that, to elevate our spirits. Hopefully we find something that'll do that. Not all of them will do, but once we elevate our spirits, we better start working on ourselves. And like I said, the number one reason we're hurting now more than ever before, or a contributing factor, is because of our in effect, we don't want to work on ourselves. And the mental health community acknowledges that, and as a result, that's why they point to the meds 100%. When we go through those psych wards. And like I said, I was in those psych wards 4 times. Ditto. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Nobody gave me an inkling that I could deal with my stuff naturally. And here I am now. Naturally. My son was bipolar type 2, medication for life, I said. Okay. I wrote the book to save his life after mine, the main book, The Rise and Shine Anxiety, Depression, Life Management Tools. Okay, it took me 7 years and 4 months to get that right, because again, after going through all that pain and everything, 25 years is a long time to experience the downs and the fact that we can learn from that it's tough too, though, but really, we don't really learn a thing from that until we get better, okay? Now, and then I learned a tremendous amount at age 46. In 2002, I learned from a lady, ex-sufferer like me, and a professional she trusts, where it took her 16 years to develop and optimize how best to change negativity to positivity. Huge. I've never seen anything close to that as far as our psychological needs at all. It's a cognitive behavior modification approach. Okay. Unlike other ones I've seen, I thought they were all the same, but I was wrong, man. When I looked into that at all, I was wrong. This process that's in this book, which is the majority of the book, How Best to Change Negativity to Positivity, is based on repetitive training. That's what we do. But allowing us to condition ourselves up front, in section 5 of the book, when we start really working on ourselves, and then whittling down to our individual negative thoughts and the sources of our negativity, which is the root cause of our issues 100%. Okay, and switching that up. Tremendous process, just changes the way we think, operate, and react to things, to underreact to everything. That's what we want to do to change. Without change, there's no change. Believe me. Now, that's important. That's probably about 40% of the game in life, to be honest with you. But the other part, the other book, in section 4 of the book, I address spiritual growth, and that is really number one, without question. It covers a few things. Our foundation. We got to have a strong foundation. Without a strong foundation, we were going to crumble like a building without a strong foundation. Okay. Here's an example. My son, for instance, he got the positivity. When he was struggling, when like a senior in college, I started writing for him to save his life after mine, as it turned out. And he started. He said, he would try the positivity tools, and he did really well with that. Okay, really well. However, I told him, if you lose sight of section 4 of the book, allow the faith to grow with age, you're going to crumble like a building without a strong foundation. It's written in the Bible. I read the Bible every day, by the way. For spiritual growth, repetitive training is really important, by the way. And repetitive training is the name of the game for the positivity tools, because that allows us to form good habits in thought and unwind the bad. And for spiritual growth, of course, we read the Bible, or a daily devotional. That's what I do, by Sarah Young. She brings in new and old scripture together with our daily issues. A great read along with reading the Bible, to be honest with you. And I told my son, do that. Get a hold of the Bible here. You just take it, please, and read one chapter a day from Matthew 9, and get a Sarah Young book and these daily devotionals, 365 pages in the book, for each day, and read one of those along with the chapter in the Bible for your daily read. Well, he finally did that, because before that he was given medication for life. I said, nonsense. You go ahead and do that, and your life is going to change. Within 1 month, he catapulted, and I never have to worry about him again. And he's doing fabulously. No meds. Okay, it's a matter of trying. If we try, we can't fail. That's the story of life. Okay. But we got to work hard on ourselves, because nobody else is going to work hard on us for us. We got to do the work, okay? And one thing, sorry, I'm going back and forth a little bit, but spiritual growth, okay? Another thing about spiritual growth, I told you about the foundation, and that's the basis of our positivity when we get that right, and the basis of our negativity when we don't. Because when we do good things, we feel good, right? Positive. Nothing magical. That's how we were plumbed together again. And if we don't, we don't. Negative. Doesn't that make sense to us? Of course it does. Nothing makes more sense than this in mental health. I promise you. Now, another part of this is for spiritual growth. When matters fall outside of our control, our own thoughts and actions, what else and who else can we depend on? Another human being ain't going to cut it, my friends. Medication and quick fixes suck. They don't work over time. It doesn't change us. It just numbs us. What good is that? You ever deal with a medication again? That is just not a fair game. Okay, and they don't give you an inkling that we can do it all this naturally. It's kind of pathetic how they operate. I'm really upset. And the fact is, they never can ask you about your faith and your foundation, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because if you don't think that's part of a major factor in our lives to address or for our well-being and our mental health, then you don't know mental health at all. Okay, and they don't do that. They can't do that. So what good? What good are they half the time? Man, I just didn't have any faith at all in them. There's ones I mentioned to you about a cognitive behavioral modification approach, and yeah, some do that, and that's fantastic. I never ran into one of those, but again, I made a point that I thought they were all the same, but I found out differently. The one for OCD, okay, this really blows my mind. Okay, it's called the gold standard for OCD for CBT process. Give me a break. You know what they do? They bring the people in to deal with their compulsions that they're having at the time. Do you know how ridiculous that is? They don't go down to the thought level, the thinking level. Okay, because the negative thoughts is what drives compulsions. So if you're just dealing with a set of compulsions at that point in time for a particular individual, like this one lady was doing, how long will it be before you have other negative thoughts that's going to cause other compulsions? Think about it. It's ridiculous. That's a pathetic thing. And this one lady I know, or I've heard about in Twitter, she went through 4 months of residential care using that. And I just knew the game. I know what was going to happen to her. After a while, she won't be doing very good. And then she fell into depression because, like an anxiety or OCD, over time is depressing. And when you have the two teeing off on you at the same time, there is nothing worse. Anyway, okay, I think I covered enough. Oh, and then physically, I'm sorry, the book does cover physically in my section 3 of the book. All right, exercise, eating well, it's important. But ironically, when we start, not feeling good up in the noggin, when we're younger, we start working out really hard and eating well. You're only about 10% of the way there. The mental, emotional stuff, which I mentioned, 40%, and our spiritual growth is at least half the game in our lives. If you're experienced, about, what it took, then you would understand what I'm saying is absolutely, straight up and honest. It's all about mental health integrity, 100%. Is there anything else? Yeah. On this card that I was saying that I went through I'm sorry. I went through like 33,500 cards, really getting close to. Okay. So I'm out on about. I must have had, without the cards. Sometimes I forget my cards, and or during the COVID time I didn't have cards, so I must have had 35,000 contacts at least, talking to people. And the contacts, they're really strong contacts because I'm talking to a camera here on a PC. Oh, by the way, thank you to my roommate because she let me borrow a platform where you can hear me. Because I had all sorts of trouble before with the volume, but what was I saying? Anyway, I missed a point there. Nothing major, I don't think. But yeah, on the back of the card, it does it does address the website to go to for the book if you want to take a look at it a little deeper. It's riseandshineanxietydepression.net. So riseandshineanxietydepression.net. And I think I covered pretty much everything. And you take care all. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving coming up, and peaceful holidays, I should say. And you take care. Okay. God bless. Goodbye.